Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Friday. We have 9 games tonight. Let's go ahead and get into it. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you haven't already, it was a good night. Yesterday at the NBA, put up 340 on DraftKings, over 412 on Fanduel. So, very good day using the Lakers guys that we had in the video. THT, Monk, they went off. We had Jaylen Brown once Tatum was out. He went off. Some other pieces did great. So let's keep it going today. Starting off with the point guard position, we have Luka at $12,200. He looks like a great play against Portland. They should be able to have their way against this Portland team that's clearly tanking at the end of the season. We have some other big-name superstars today, but Doncic is definitely on the list of guys to consider. Trey Young is right there also at 10-8. He has a much tougher matchup going up against Miami, but I like some other guys a little bit more than getting to Trey Young today. Kyrie and Durant both did not sit a minute in that second half of the game against the Knicks as they needed to win that game, and they ended up winning. They were down like 15 at halftime, so shout out to the Nets for coming through if you are believing in them or a fan of them. First guy I'm going to plug in here is Kevin Porter Jr. Just love the way that he's been playing ball recently. Good matchup against Toronto in terms of them being on a back-to-back, and they said they're going to be resting some guys down the stretch. We saw Van Fleet rest. They could be resting another star today. Who knows, but anyways, it's still a good matchup for KPJ, who's been balling as of late. He had one of his better games of the season against Toronto earlier, where he put up 50, and just hasn't dropped under like 40 fantasy points in quite some time, ever since since the end of March 26th, since they kind of stopped playing all these veterans and they gave Christian Wood, time off. So he's really benefited. I think he will have another good game today. Other good options that we can look to are Jalen Green, his teammate, for $800 less. He's also been balling. Make that 5 straight 30-plus point games from him. Both of these guys are playing massive minutes. I just slightly prefer KPJ just because it gives you more peripheral upside. And one of these days, Jalen Green might drop under 30 real-life points. Some other options that we can go to value-wise, we have some of the Lakers options here. Malik Monk, go ahead and put him in. Monk and THT, they waited their entire season, especially THT, to finally go off. I'm sure LeBron was hoping that at least THT showed some of those sparks during the season when the Lakers still had a shot. But Monk and Horton Tucker both can get a bunch of shots off today, back-to-back for them, but they're not going to be playing Carmelo. They're not going to be playing any of the big three. So go crazy for Monk and Taylor Horton Tucker. Value options that we can look to are Xavier Simpson. He's $3,900. He hasn't been shooting the ball particularly well since he's been called up from the G League, but he does give you assist upside. Plays big minutes, 39, 44. I mean, got to like him against this Lakers team that doesn't play any defense. So that game you're going to get a lot of value from with both sides of it. Over at shooting guard, I plugged in Malik Monk just because he's super affordable at that price tag. Top end, you can maybe get to Kyrie if you wanted to. Other options would be Jalen Green, 76. Van Fleet at 82. Should be back today after sitting out last night. Gary Trent's been playing better, especially if there's no OG Anunoby. He looks good. And that's like the main pieces. Don't have too much other interest. Like Krejci, he plays some, but he's maybe not won't play as much as Simpson and some of these other like Kalexakis, the really cheap options. Reeves started last night, played all right. I mean, I'd rather get to the other Lakers over him. Small forward, pay-ups are Giannis. I don't know how many minutes he'll play against Detroit. Now, he should maybe not play today because it's a back-to-back for them, and I don't know why he would play. They might still be fighting for some seeding stuff in the East, but it seems like they don't really care. We've seen them rest Giannis on back-to-backs recently, especially against inferior teams like the Pistons. Now, whereas you have KD, on the other hand, where he can't rest, he's been playing 40-plus minutes in any sort of competitive game, which tonight will probably be, coming off of a triple-double last night, or his last game where he played the entire second half. We have some other options in the mid-range that we can look to. The first guy you got to go with as a value option is Taylor Horton Tucker. Just way too cheap for his price tag, $3,800. Should be able to take a lot of shots today without LeBron and Westbrook and Davis there. Got to the free throw line 9 times. finally showed some semblance of life in terms of an offensive perspective. The Lakers gave him that nice contract at the in the offseason. He finally waited until the day after they were eliminated to make some hay on that. Power forward, yeah, I don't mind getting to Siakam. You can get to Durant as well, but you can get to Siakam, who's been balling as well, taking down the Sixers last night. It was basically all Siakam, triple-double, 37, 12, 11. Didn't hit his threes, but he got to the free throw line. You know, he's super aggressive getting to the basket, and just don't see anybody on Houston slowing him down. And then the last guy I'll plug in here is Jalen Horde. He's another guy on the Thunder that you can kind of count on. You also can look to Dwight Howard if you wanted to, because he's pretty affordable at 46. But for $1,000 more, I would go with the guy that's has shown like 60-point upside, and you know, not that that's going to happen every game, but even the following game, he was hitting his threes. Didn't have as many rebounds, but still 40 fantasy points at 5,000. Now he's going up against this Lakers team, so another good option that we can look to. And that's it for DraftKings. Let's talk about FanDuel. So for tonight on FanDuel, same story, same type of players I'm looking at. At the point guard position, I'll go with Darius Garland at 9,000. He's also playing a lot of minutes. He shows you big upside. So him, Luka would be my second guy. Then Kyrie would be third. Other plays would be Kevin Porter at $8,400. Mid-range, you can go to Jalen Green at his price tag. Chris Paul is pretty affordable, but you know the Suns, they've locked up the 1 seed, I believe, so there's not much urgency to play these guys many minutes. Well, at least if the game is not close. Shooting guard, so we'll plug in some of these Lakers options here. We have Malik Monk. These price tags haven't moved at all, so it seems like the sites are also looking forward to the playoffs because they haven't really been making a lot of adjustments with their price tags. Small forward, I like KD at his price tag, but you got to go with Taylor Horton-Tucker as your main, as your first guy to plug in because he's only, I think, sub $3,000, or he's just at 4K on FanDuel. So another guy that's just too cheap to pass up on for the Lakers team. Go ahead and put him in his right position at small forward. Power forward, you were looking at Siakam as a pay up at 10K. Then you have Durant at 11.7. You have a little bit more flexibility on FanDuel, so I'm putting in Kevin Durant. Don't mind Siakam as well, but Durant's looking at 40-plus minutes once again today. Other options are Roby at 65. They said that they're probably going to get Mobley back. He's planning on playing. Don't know how many minutes he'll play, but still think he will probably go back to his normal workload, maybe a couple less minutes. And then at center, no Gobert for me at that price. Looking as a value option so we can pay up for some of these other stars, I think you can look to like Jericho Sims at 48. I mean, not that interested. Looks better on DraftKings. I'd rather go down to Dwight Howard at 43. Guy that should have success against this OKC front court in terms of just getting rebounds, can get you putbacks, some block shots. Very affordable if he plays anywhere over 25 minutes like he did last night. And that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I will see you all next time.